Good morning, students. Welcome back to another session of data structures. Till now, we have discussed about what is a linked list, what are the types of linked list, and different operations that can be performed on a linked list, and the single linked list in detail. That is the single linked list introduction, the operations that can be carried out on a single linked list, etc. Now we will come across the double linked list, that is another type of linked list. In linked list we have three types. What is that is single linked list, double linked list and circular linked list. In this session I will be explaining you about the double linked list. This is my class 15. What are the topics that I am going to discuss in this PPT are the introduction to the double linked list, then the operations that can be carried out on the double linked list, then the advantages and disadvantages of the double linked list. Okay, if you have gone through the PPTs, that is my previous PPTs, then you would have an idea about the single linked list. This will help you a lot for understanding the double linked list concept. Okay, if you know the single linked list concept, the same thing will be repeated in the double linked list also. So, coming to the introduction of the double linked list. A double linked list is a two-way list in which all nodes will have two links. This helps in accessing both the successor node and preceder node from the given node position. That is, a double linked list is a linked list in which a node contains three parts, that is one part for storing the data and the two parts for storing the link, that is left link and the right link. The data part stores the actual data and the link part stores the address of the next node and the previous nodes. Here left node or the left link will store the address of the preceder, that is previous node, and the right link will store the address of the successor, that is the node after it. Okay, it is also known as bidirectional or two-way list. That is, since we can move from the front node, that is starting from the header node, we can move to the first node, then to the second, then to the third, then and so on. And also we can come back from the last node, we can move to the front also. So it is a bidirectional list or a two-way list. Okay. It provides bidirectional traversing. Traversing means visiting all the nodes of the linked list at least once. That is, we start from the header node, then move to the first node, then move to the second node, then move to the third node, and so on. And then we stop there and again we traverse back. That is, start from the last node, then go to the before node, that is n-1, then n-2 and so on. That is, by using the right link we move from front to back, and by using the left link we use to traverse from back to front. Okay, each node contains three fields. As I have mentioned, the node in a double linked list contains three parts, one for storing the data and two for storing the link parts. Okay, In short, we can say one thing: a double linked list is a collection of nodes, and these nodes contain three parts. Okay, now the left link points to the preceder node, and the right link points to the successor node. Here we have a simple example for a double linked list. If you observe the figure, you will be able to identify what previous and next links will point, or the left link and the right link will point to. See, the left link, that is the left link will point to the previous node in the linked list, and the right link will point to the next node in the linked list. Okay, the data field stores the required data. Many applications require searching forward and backward through nodes of a list. That is, in many applications, they require that to traverse from front to back, that is from the beginning to the end, and also from end to the beginning. In such applications, this double linked list can be useful. For example, searching for a name in a telephone directory would need forward and backward scanning through a region of the whole list. Okay, this is a simple example. Here in this sample figure, there is a head node, that is header node. A header node always stores the address of the first node in the linked list. It does not contain any data part. It only contains the link part. And the next node is the A. And the next node or the first node is containing the information A. And previous is stored in the left link, and the right link is containing next. That is, previous means address of the previous node, that is before node. Next means address of the next node. So by using this address, we can move forward as well as backward in a double linked list. Okay, and the last node in the double linked list, the right link will be null, indicating that the nodes has ended there. That is, the linked list ended there. Next, in a single linked list, one can move beginning from the header node to any node in one direction only, that is from left to right. That is why a single linked list is also termed as one-way list. On the other hand, a double linked list is a two-way list because one can move in either directions, either from left to right or from right to left. This is accomplished by maintaining two link fields instead of one. See, here a single linked list is known as a one-way list, since we can move from front to back, that is from the beginning header to the last node only. We can move in one direction only, since we maintain pointer only one pointer to the next node in the linked list, so we can move only in one direction. So a single linked list is called as a unidirectional list or a one-way list. Whereas a double linked list maintains two links, one to the previous node and one for the next node in the linked list. That is, one points to the preceder and other points to the successor. So we can move in both the directional. So a double linked list is known as a bi-directional list or a two-way list. Okay, and the data field as usual stores the information whatever we wants to store. Here is a sample figure showing you a simple double linked list. In this double linked list, first node is called the, that is the colored node you are seeing, no, gray colored node, that is called the header node. And the header node, as I told you, does not contain any data part, it only contains the link part. And in this also the left link will be null because there are no nodes before it. Okay, the header node stores the address of the first node in the linked list, and by using this we move to the next node, that is second node, and then to the next node, and then and so on till the end of the linked list. That is, for traversing from beginning to the end of the double linked list we use the right link. Okay, and for traversing from back to front, that is from end to beginning, we use the left link. Hence a double linked list is also known as a two-way list or a bi-directional list. Okay, this is a simple example of a double linked list. Now, what are the operations on a double linked list? As we have performed the operations on a single linked list, we can also perform the following operations on a double linked list. That is, creation of a double linked list, insertion of a node into a double linked list, then deletion of a node from a double linked list, and then traversing a double linked list. These operations have already been done in the single linked list. If you have listened to the previous sessions, then you will be able to understand these operations very clearly. See, creating a node for a double linked list. Here is a sample figure. Okay, creating a double linked list starts with creating a node. Sufficient memory has to be allocated for creating a node. This information is stored in the memory. See, here is a sample linked list which demonstrate a creation of a double linked list. Okay, for creating any node or for creating any double linked list, we need a new node, and we take this node from the memory bank. A memory bank contains many number of nodes, and if we ask the memory manager, that is the in charge of the memory bank, if we want any node, we will contact the memory manager and he will search for the particular node requested by us in the memory bank, and if it is available he will give it to us, and then we will create our double linked list. Okay, this memory bank, memory manager, garbage collector are nothing but computer programs that will be activated when we want a double linked list or a single linked list or any sort of operations on linked list. Okay, here start, also known as header node, contains the address 100. As I have told, the header node does not contain any data part, and in the double linked list it does not contain the left link also, it only contains the right link. So only one value is provided in this header or start, that is the address of the first node in the linked list. Here the memory location given in header is 100. So we move to 100. In this 100 we have the left link, that is left link pointing to the header node, that is given as x, and the right link is pointed towards the next node in the linked list, that is 200, and the data in this link is 10. And by taking the right link address, we move to the next node, and in this next node, that is 200, the data is 20, the left link is 100 and the right link is 300. And by using the right link, we move a step ahead, and the address here is 300, so we move to the location 300. Here the data is 30 and the left link is 200 and the right link part is null, indicating that my double linked list has ended. Okay, here I started from the header node and moved to the first, that is 100th location, then the 200th location, and then the 300 location. Like this I can move backward also, that is starting from the 300th location, I will follow the left link of the node, that is 200, then go to 100, then go to the header node, that is traverse front and back. Now insertion of a node into a double linked list, that is insertion operation in any linked list can be done in three ways, that is insertion of a node at the front of a linked list, that is after the header node, then insertion of a node at the end of the linked list as the last node, and insertion of a node in the middle of the linked list, that is at any position in the linked list. Okay, be it a single linked list or a double linked list, the same operations will be performed. That is, in a single linked list also we perform the insertion in three ways, and in this double linked list also we perform the operation in three ways. That is, first is insertion of a node at the front. Is front means after the header node. See, here is an example for insertion of a node at the front of a double linked list. The new node is placed there and the links are being established, and here the links are clearly mentioned using the numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4, that is using the dotted lines. Okay. The algorithm for insertion of a node at the front of a double linked list as follows. Okay, first what we will do, if we want any node, that is if we want any node to be inserted in our double linked list, then we will contact the memory manager for that particular node. Then we will ask the memory manager if the node is available. The memory manager will check the memory bank, and if the node is available, then the node will be given to us and we will insert the new node in our double linked list. If the node is not available, then it returns an insufficient memory or unable to allocate memory. See, here the same process is given using the algorithm, and comments are given so that you can understand this algorithm clearly. First we will go to the get node. New is equal to get node of node. That is, we are asking the memory bank for the node and asking whether it is available or not. If it is available, that is, if it is available, give it to us and we will establish the link between the header node and the first node. That is, the previous it was the first node, now it becomes the second node, and we will place a data x, that is new dot data is equal to x, that is data x will be placed in the new node. If the node is not available, else part is given. Unable to allocate memory, insertion is not possible. This is the algorithm for insertion at the front. Now, insertion of a node at the end of a double linked list, that is as the last node. So, we will remove the null pointer in the last node and place our new node's link address in that node. Okay. For this, we have to traverse from the header node to the last node. Since we want to insert the node at the end, we will start from the header node, and by taking the address of the right link, we go to the first node, then the second node, then the third node, till the null pointer is reached, that is till we reach the last node. And then after this, we will go and ask the memory manager whether the node is available or not. Okay, if the node is available, then the memory manager will give it to us, and then we will insert the node at that position and establish a link and place a data X. Here the code is given in line number 4. If you observe, new is equal to get node of node, that is we are asking the memory manager for a node, and if it is available, then he will give it, and then we will establish a link, that is new dot data is equal to X, means we are inserting a data X into that new node, and we are establishing a link between the last node and the new node, and this is given in the steps 5. Okay, if the node is not available, that is else part, 6th step, if the node requested by the user is not available in the memory, then the memory manager will return a message unable to allocate memory. So this is the algorithm for performing an insertion at the end of a double linked list. Now, inserting a node at any position in the list. Okay, if we want to insert a new node at any position on the double linked list, then we start from the header node, then move to the location where we want to insert, that is after the fourth node or after the third node or in the middle of the linked list. First we will get an idea, or we will be given some idea to insert in some particular position. If anyone specifies, then we will insert it at that certain position, otherwise we will insert it at a middle position, that is this algorithm will insert the node at any position in the middle of the linked list. Okay, first we start from the header node. As I have mentioned, header does not contain the left link and also the data part, so we move to the, by using the header's right link, we move to the first node, and from the first node we move to the next node by using the pointers. PTR is a pointer which starts at the header and moves on, and there we identify the place where we want to insert and place the new node there and establish the link. And these links are shown here in the figure using the dotted lines, and the numbers are specified 1 2 3 4, that is the links are established in such a way. This is the insertion of a node at any position of a linked list. Here is an algorithm which explains to you how we insert a node at that position. For this, here we start with step 1, that is PTR is equal to header, that is header. First we start at the header node, that is place the pointer or any symbol or starting position at the header, then from there we move to the next node, then to the next node till our required position is reached, and after that we place the link between the new node and the already existing nodes, and also we place a data X in the new node. This is an algorithm which explains to you how we can insert a new node at any position in a double linked list. It can be clearly understood by using the comments. Okay, this insertion operation is very important whether it is a single linked list or a double linked list. Next, deletion operation. As I have mentioned, in a single linked list there are three ways of deletion. Here also, in this double linked list also, we are having three ways of deleting a node in a double linked list. That is deletion at the front, that is the first, removing the first node in the linked list, that is not the header node. The node after the header node will be deleted. Next one is deletion at the end, that is removing the last node in the double linked list. And the next case is deleting a node from any position in the double linked list. First, we start from deleting a node from a double linked list at the front. In this, we start from the header node, and then after the header node, the first node exists. So we remove the links with the header node and the second node. That is shown using the dotted lines, and it's also mentioned 1 and 2. Okay, we remove that node, and I have already mentioned that after removing a node, we will return the node to the memory bank also. This will be done using the garbage collector. This is a program. This is nothing but a program, garbage collector. This will collect all the deleted nodes and give it back to the memory manager, and the memory manager will place them in the memory bank. Okay, the algorithm for deleting a node from a double linked list is given here. So, header dot rlink is equal to ptr, means first we start from the header node. We take the right link address from the header node. Since we have to move from the beginning to the end of the list, we can traverse using the right link. So first we start from the right link of the header node and then move forward. Okay. If ptr is equal to null, then print list is empty, no deletion is made. That is, after the header node, or if the header node does not contain any address, then we can say that the list is empty. If the header node contains any address, we will move to that address. If the header node does not contain any address, this means there is no linked list available, and so no deletion is possible. Else, if the right link of the header node contains any memory location address, then we move to that memory address location and then traverse to the next location and delete the previous node. That is, we will place two pointers, ptr and ptr1. ptr1 will be pointing to the second node in the linked list, and ptr will be pointing to the node to be deleted. Okay, and after that, return node of ptr means after deleting the node, we will return it to the memory bank. Okay, this is the algorithm for deleting a node from the front of a double linked list. Next, deleting a node at the end of a double linked list. For deleting a node from the end of a double linked list, first we have to start from the header node. Then after that, take the right link address and move to the next node. After that, move to the next node. Continue this process until a null character is reached. That means the last node will be reached, and then set a pointer to it, and for the previous node set another pointer. That is, the node to be deleted will contain ptr and the previous node will contain ptr1. After that, delete the last node and place a null in the previous node. That is, in ptr1 dot link place a null indicating that it is the last node. Okay, and after deleting the node, return it to the memory bank. Here is an algorithm demonstrating of deletion at the end. Start at ptr is equal to header. That is, from header take the address of the next node and place and move from there to the next node. We will start from the header node. Since we want to delete the last node, we will start from the first node, then move to the second, then move to the next, and so on till we reach the last node, and set a pointer there and set a another pointer in the before node, that is previous node, and delete the last node. After that, if ptr is equal to header, then if the header does not contain any address of any node, then we assume that the double linked list is empty, so there is no node to be deleted. This is the case shown in step 4. Okay, else if there is any node, that is, if the header contains any right link, then move towards it till the end or the null character is reached, and then set a pointer to it and delete the node. After deleting, return node of ptr specifies that the deleted node should be returned back to the memory bank. Next, deleting a node from any position in a double linked list. That is, if the position is specified, then we move to that particular position and delete it. If it is not specified, then we will remove the middle element in the double linked list. For that also, we have to traverse from the header node to the nodes, next node, then to the next node, and the node to be deleted will be specified using the pointer. That is, a ptr will be pointed to the deleted node, and ptr1 points to the previous node, and ptr2 points to the next node, that is the successor of the deleted to be node to be deleted. That is, if I want to delete the 6th node, then I set ptr to 6, and 5 will contain ptr1 and 7 will contain ptr2. That is, after the node has been deleted, we have to adjust the pointers and maintain the links. For that purpose, we will place the ptr1 and ptr2 pointers. These are nothing but the pointers. ptr, ptr1 and ptr2 are nothing but the pointers. A pointer is nothing but which holds the address of another variable. Okay. After the node will be deleted, it is returned to the memory bank. Here is an algorithm which explains the deletion operation at any position in a double linked list. See, ptr is equal to header dot right link. That is, by taking the right link address of the header node, since the left link and the data will be null for a double linked list, we will take the right link address and move forward. If there is no right link address, then we assume that the linked list is empty and we quit. If there is any data, then we move to that particular location. If it is specified to delete that particular element or that particular data value node, then we will delete that. Okay, and after deleting we will return the node back to the memory manager. Okay, this is the operation, or this is the algorithm for deleting a node from any position of a double linked list. Now coming to traversing. Traversing means visiting all the nodes of a linked list from front to back and also from back to front. That is, we start from the header node, then move to the first node, then move to the second node, then move to the third node, and so on till the last node is reached. And from there, by using the left link, we move front, that is, move one step before, that is, we move front from end to beginning. Okay, the function traverse left or right is used for traversing and displaying the information stored in the linked list from left to right. Okay, that is, since I have told that this double linked list is a two-way list, we can move in either direction, that is from the beginning of the linked list to the end of the linked list, from the end to the beginning of a linked list, that is from the left to right and from right to left. Okay, this is done by using the right link and the left link. Left link always points to the previous node and the right link points to the next node. Advantages of double linked list. We can traverse in both directions. It is easy to reverse the linked list. If we are at a node, then we can go to any node, but in a linear linked list, it is not possible to reach the previous node. As I have explained, we can traverse in both the direction in a double linked list since it is a two-way list, and reversing a linked list is also easy in a double linked list. And also we can go to any location and find any node, and it is an easy operation, whereas in a single linked list it is a little bit difficult. Disadvantages of double linked list. It requires more space, that is, in a single linked list we will store the data part and the link part only, that is one link part only, but in a double linked list we are storing the data part, the left link and the right link, so a little bit memory is required more than a single linked list. Okay, insertion and deletion take more time than linear linked list because more pointer operations are required than a linear linked list. See, insertion and deletion operations are a little bit time consuming operations since after removing or inserting a node we have to adjust the left pointer as well as right link also. We have to manage both the links and maintain it clearly. Okay, for that it is a little time consuming process and takes more time. Now with this we come to the end of class 15. Hope you understood the double linked list concepts very clearly. This concept will come in your end examination, that is chain to end examination. So practice it. But also the algorithms are also important. Okay. See, here is an assignment for you. Write the assignment, that is, explain the insertion operation in a double linked list with algorithms and diagram. What are the advantages and disadvantages of double linked list, and how do you perform the deletion operation on a double linked list? Write the questions, that is, answer these questions and submit me the assignment in 2 or 3 days. These questions are very important, so practice them while you are writing. Okay, by this I come to the end of class 12. Thank you.